It's about 5:53 on Sunday morning, February 10th. I am almost ready to head out to the start line. I like being there about an hour early. It's not even a half-mile walk up to the start line at Lafayette Square. Okay, currently the weather is 52 degrees. There's gonna be a high of 69 degrees. It's gonna get warm, but it's gonna stay overcast, which hopefully is a good thing, because it would be really nice if it stayed a bit cloudy. Humidity, I have no idea. That's the thing that kills me. That's the thing I'm just not used to. So when we start 77% humidity, yeah, that's gonna be fun. How does that feel for me? That's actually pretty tough. I don't normally train in humid conditions, so we'll see how it goes. When I walk outside, I will have a much better idea of how this is gonna go. Sun's not even up yet. I'm gonna get out the door, grab all my stuff, and I'm out. I'll let you know how it goes.
In Lafayette Square, sun's coming up behind me. Got statues, all kinds of cool things. This is really neat here. We've got behind me and up back that way is the half marathon start. I'm still wandering around. 15 minutes to the 10K race start. I'm gonna make my way over to the half marathon start. I'm gonna get my warm-ups in. I'm going to start to loosen up a little bit. Kind of keeping my eyes open for the rest of the ladies, but crowd's starting to build up a little bit, and I probably won't see anybody until the end of the race. Dropped off my gear bag, and I did find a lovely lady in a Run Disney Mylar blanket. Chatted with her for a few minutes. She's local to Florida, so she not only does the Dopey Challenge, she did the half marathon this year, and she volunteers for medical a lot, so, which is really cool. I love that. So I'm headed up to race to my corral, and get going. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous. Feel the energy. Okay guys, this is not like color correction, that's really me being red. Okay, here's the deal. Just crossed the finish line about 5 minutes ago. 10, 7, I don't know. I don't know. I literally can barely think right now. Okay, first things first, unofficial time according to my watch. 2 hours, 14 minutes and 39 seconds. I don't know what my official time yet, but it's probably somewhere around there. I beat 2:15 is what we're saying. And that hasn't sunk in yet. That has not hit me yet. I crossed the finish line. I charged across the finish line screaming, just ecstatic that I performed so well. And Christine was right there at the finish line. I literally, I could only go up and give her a hug, and like I couldn't think, and I told her, I'm like, I can't. She's like, put your medal on, go get some chocolate milk, and we'll meet later. It's a nice medal. Let's see, okay, first 5 miles, I felt great. I maybe went about 5 seconds faster per mile than I planned, but it felt good. Turning around, at that turnaround at mile 4.5, again, it started to get a little tougher, but I was maintaining that same pace. So when I bumped up to the next 5 miles, I basically just maintained the pace that I had already set. I found a groove maybe 1.5 miles in, and I stuck with it. And man, I stuck with that groove like glue. It felt really good. Coming in through French Quarter, you come into the last 5 miles in the French Quarter, and that was a little tougher. The roads got more uneven and rougher, construction and just potholes and all that stuff. So it got a little tougher. I had to really watch my feet. But I finished in the last 5K was beautiful. The last 5K is nice, close-in boulevards, big trees, like that one. And it's just beautiful. Every single house was a different color, and it's just, there's so much character coming up that last 5K. I started feeling a bit uncomfortable. I didn't take a gel until mile 7 or 8, just before a water stop, and I only took 1 gel. I actually felt really good. I only took 1 gel. And coming up the last 5K, let's see, it was mile 11, and I'm like, okay, I had set that pace for the last 5K to be 9:45 to 10:10. And I could just barely squeak under 10:10 for most of that 5K. I couldn't push any harder, not to sustain it. So here's the deceptive thing. You come up over a bridge in the last maybe half mile, and then you're coming into City Park, and City Park is huge. And you're coming up this main boulevard in front of this green, and there's a huge monument in the way, right in front of you. It's enormous. And you cut around it to go to get to the finish line. What was interesting is that I couldn't even hear the finish line. This building is so big. And you come around that monument, and you're 0.2 of a mile from the finish line. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm really close to the finish line. I need some music to pump me up. So I'm finding the exact song that I need. And I am charging. Down the last 1/4 mile, singing and screaming. I've got my music on, and I am so happy. Across the finish line, arms up above my head, practically ecstatic. And I saw Christine, and I almost lost it. I was like, oh my gosh. So yes, I'm very tired. It was warm. It was warm enough, and I do have to say, the number of Run Disney t-shirts I'm seeing here, there are a lot of Run Disney t-shirts. You can always tell them from the back. You can always tell them from the back, and if you run that particular race or have been around for that particular, it's like the Oswald shirt. Oh, there's an Oswald shirt. Oh, look. I saw a Wine and Dine shirt. I saw a Princess shirt. I saw a lot of Run Disney represented today. I even saw a Run Disney Mylar blanket. Don't make me laugh, it'll make me cough. All right. No, this was, let's see, how do I feel? Could I have done better? What could I have done better? Nothing. Honestly, I don't think I could have done anything better. I ran this race to plan. I did. Like I said, I found that groove early, and it worked, so I stuck with it. The last 5K was a challenge, but again, that has always been the case for me. I think the biggest challenge in the last 5K was mental, because I was starting to feel like I needed a bathroom, but I didn't want to stop. Like, I can make it. Let's see, water stops. Were not as frequent as I'm used to, but I'm okay with that because I skipped every other one anyway. The only time I knew I was going to need a water stop was around mile 7 when I took my gel. So I downed my gel. I took a salted watermelon goo, down my gel, and I'm glad it was salted because it's warm. I'm gonna get a bit chilled here. I need to grab my jacket, but sitting here, the breeze is cool. That's the thing. The humidity was one thing, but it was the breeze that kind of saved it today. Because look, in Denver, the sweat evaporates so fast. I'm like, why am I damp? Like, oh, it's because you're in New Orleans. There's humidity here. So whenever the breeze came up, you know, you go across the street and the breeze is coming up across the way. Like, that felt really good. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's a nice respite. The breeze felt good as long as you weren't running into it. But it was strong. There was a strong wind this morning. And it was cool. It was very cool. Now it's probably 65, almost 70. But I'm gonna go because I need to recover and rest, and Christine is waiting for the rest of the AMR ladies that I never saw them on the out and back, so they were I know I missed them at some point, but I'm gonna go find my long sleeve shirt and get warm, and more later, you guys. I'm very happy. This was a really good race.